Cookie Johnson's the name, and WGG is the game. Now, if you didn't know that Cookie Johnson's the name, then hi hello, my name is Cookie Johnson, and I'm a Roblox streamer most infamous for having 100%ed every single Dark Souls, including Demon Souls and Bloodborne, those stupid games. Now, as mentioned at the beginning, the game that we were reviewing today is called WGG, also standing for Weird Gun Game. Weird Gun Game has taken over the second most popular FPS game slot, just over Hypershot, thankfully, and is actually significantly better than Hypershot, and I would actually argue probably the best FPS game on Roblox, although the bar isn't very high. Now you may be asking, Cookie, why are we reviewing another FPS game? Aren't they all just copy and paste clones used to make a bunch of Robux from kids that have no idea what a unique game is? And normally I would absolutely say yes. Fortunately, this game is probably the most unique FPS game there is out on Roblox. Now let's start with the first thing like I did in the Hypershot video. This game actually doesn't have any AI art, which is absolutely splendid, and has everything all hand-drawn and or copy and pasted, which is significantly better than AI art, I like to believe. Another thing that this game has that Hypershot doesn't is devs that actually care about the game. Now that might not entirely be true, these past couple of updates look like they're made by an 8-year-old, but for the most part this game isn't a Robux grab and instead an actual passion project that someone tried making. Now there should be a fair warning before I get into the review, that this review might sound a little bit biased. This is my girlfriend's favorite FPS game on Roblox after all, and she's rather prevalent in the community itself. Although despite that, I will try and keep my own opinions completely separate for hers even if she is writing the stuff I'm talking about. Oh my god, that was disgusting, sorry. Now, going on to the first point of the video, and what actually makes Weird Gun Game unique, is the weapon customization. The interesting thing about Weird Gun Game's weapon customization is that it's not locked to one class or one subgenre. Instead, everything can be attached to everything. Cores being the main part of the build and everything else complementing it, you can get kinda freaky with the builds that you end up having. You can also make some rather funny looking builds, seeing as none of them necessarily have to be in the right spot. Everything can be moved and resized, as long as the part is touching gun, the part is okay to stay. Another nice thing that the Weird Gun Game, that's a funny thing, isn't it? A nice thing that the Weird Gun Game devs do is they put a debuff on weapons that you crossbreed. So, you won't be complaining about a shotgun core one-shotting you from across the map because there's all AR attachments. Now this doesn't mean that it's a bad idea to put AR attachments on an SMG core, it just makes you think a little bit more so that you're not creating the weapon with the most recoil and the least amount of damage. I just realized how much better the mic would sound if I just manually held it, so you guys are getting this for the rest of the time being. I lied, my hand started to hurt. Another thing that this game does great is making the amalgamations that you make look relatively good. I'm thoroughly surprised with the fact that I put a taco in a PC case and it looks as good as it does. Now, there is something I am neutral about on this game, and this is about the only neutral thing I have, is the maps. My opinions on these maps vary from, hey, I'm having a pretty good time playing this, to, hey, I'd rather nick my balls and go lay in a bath of Tabasco sauce. I don't think I've ever played a game where I felt as 50-50 with a map as I do with Weird Gun Games. And it's not necessarily like the maps look bad, they actually look really good, it's the gameplay in themselves that are so atrocious, from being some of the biggest maps known to man to being spawn camped every 3 seconds. Now, as I said, that is the only thing I feel neutral about the game, and so the rest of the stuff that I'm gonna say is rather negative. Now, having come back to this game after playing Hypershot, the one thing I could notice is that I felt so slow. I genuinely felt like I was the fucking turtle versus the hare. And this isn't Weird Gun Game's fault, not in the slightest. Weird Gun Game is an arcade shooter, and this is just how arcade shooters are set up. Sorry, water break. Another negative thing I have to say is that the balancing in this game tends to be a little bit whack. The UMP40 has been meta for about as long as I can remember, while guns like my infamous Taco PC case continue to lay in the dirt. Now, another complaint is the spawns in this game feel rather terrible, and sometimes I hate going around the map searching for people that are spawning in the middle of Timbuktu, while when I spawn, I'm currently getting dicked down. Now, one thing that may turn a bunch of people off for this game is the new player experience and how overwhelming it is. Unfortunately, this game has a lot of attachments and a tutorial that is basically non-existent. It doesn't explain a whole lot and really didn't help me understand the system at first. Another thing is there are so many attachments to choose from, it's kind of difficult to decide what and what you don't want to grind for. What is this? Hello?
I can't fucking take it with the aim assist anymore. Anyone with a controller or their phone just gets free fucking aimbot, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh right, aim assist. Aim assist is always an issue in FPS games, and Word Gun Game is no different. Aim assist is relatively strong and can be given to everyone. No matter what platform you're on, you can get aim assist. People have also, like my girlfriend for an example, have gotten 10 kills while being completely AFK and just letting aim assist do all the work. Now, if you asked me if I think we should get rid of aim assist, I think no, and I think it should stay for controller players. I think it's relatively difficult for them to get kills with no aim assist, especially fighting on Timmy Tough Knuckles, who can do an instant 360 the second they sense you. Now, if you ask me on a deeper level whether or not I think we should get rid of aim assist, I would say abso-fucking-lutely. I hate those dirty monkey joystick controlling bastards who just... Oh my god, they snipe you from like half the map away with a goddamn AR while doing absolutely nothing. They've got an artificial intelligence. My bad. Now, that's kind of all there is to talk about, at least in my opinion. So I'm gonna go on to my final conclusions now. Despite the fact that I talked about a lot of negatives in this video, I still think Word Gun Game is a fantastic game, and it's arguably the best FPS game on Roblox. You might be saying, but Cookie, doesn't Rivals exist? Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Rivals isn't real. It's a construct made in your head. Jokes aside, Rivals versus Word Gun Game is actually a pretty unfair comparison. Rivals is all about 1v1s, 2v2s, and 3v3s, and while Rivals might not have as much content, actually, I don't know where I was going with that. Rivals doesn't have any content at all and is basically a slobberfest of a game compared to Word Gun Game. Word Gun Game has a fuck ton of customization while having weapons that look pretty fantastic all around, maps that are pretty aesthetically pleasing, and despite the fact that some of them are awfully terrible, are actually relatively fun to play on. The community itself is relatively good despite a few sour apples in the crow. The gunplay in this game feels relatively good, and as long as the Roblox servers aren't lagging too bad, you'll basically win every 1v1 that you deserve to win. Now, I am, at the end of the day, a variety Roblox streamer. I don't focus on one game, and my opinion can't be taken too seriously. However, someone who's put over countless hundreds of hours into the game definitely could. So, from this point on, we're going to be having an interview with Minty. God damn, bitch, that ass is fat. My fault. Ring ring, ring ring.
Hello?
Hello, is this Minty's abode?
It is Minty's abode?
May I come in?
You may.
Well, hello. Alright, state your name for the case.
Hi, my name is Minty. I am Cookie's girlfriend. I've played a lot of Weird Gun Game.
So, what's your relation with Weird Gun Game?
So Weird Gun Game is a game I play a lot when I'm bored. It's kind of my turn my brain off and play type of game. I like to make guns and I like to shoot toddlers.
So, how long ago did you start playing Weird Gun Game?
I probably started like 5 months ago, I want to say, back in like March.
And how did you get so big in the community?
I just started talking into the Discord every once in a while.
So, tell us about some of Weird Gun Game's strengths.
So I think the main strength of Weird Gun Game is definitely the gun builder. It's a very unique inside of Roblox games. There are a couple others with gun builders, like Deadline comes to mind, but Weird Gun Game does it in a simplistic and fun way that makes it accessible to everyone.
What do you think the most negative thing about Gun Game is?
It's probably gonna be the maps. The maps are they're very like hit and miss. There's a lot of really bad maps, but there's also some pretty good maps as well.
And if you had to suggest Weird Gun Game to a new player, would you or would you not recommend they play it?
I would absolutely recommend they play it because it's something just to turn your brain off in and have fun every once in a while. It's not alienating to new players. Most of the player base is complete trash, so it's not like you're gonna be struggling much. And there's also bots that fill in for missing players or people building guns, so it's like even if you're bad, you can still shoot and get kills.
Do you have any final thoughts about Weird Gun Game and overall how it is?
I think it's a pretty good game, and it's also pretty weird, and it's also a gun game.
Any final thoughts?
I think it's a pretty good game on the platform. It's yet to succumb to like stereotypical Roblox FPS pay to win, shove 4,000 Roblox skins down your face.
Yeah, type shit, type
Yeah.
shit. Is there anything you would like to say before you leave this interview?
Um. Um. Blah blah.
Wawa. Now, ultimately, her opinion doesn't matter because I said so and her being is beneath me. However, my opinion does matter, and this is what I have to say. Weird Gun Game is arguably the best FPS game on Roblox, and I will state that and stand by it. Weird Gun Game is an incredibly fun experience if you have the motivation to get attachments, and is overall just a great feeling game. Would I suggest you play this game? Absolutely. I would suggest you even play this game for a little bit longer than you think you would. I think having a bunch of fun with the attachments is a really great way to kill time, and I think the format in which they do everything is relatively good, except those maps, of course. Now, thankfully, the Weird Gun Game community is also always alive, so if you want to go ahead and steal builds from people, it's not necessarily frowned upon, at least by me. And that is my review. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, toodaloo.